Hello everyone, welcome back to the next video. In this video I will tell you how to integrate native Android APIs without writing native code directly via GdScript in Godot game engine. So let's get started. So if you want more context on this, you can go through this documentation. So typically whenever you want to create access an Android native Android feature, you will have to write native Android plugin, right? I have made several videos on that as well. But you can directly access an Android API directly from GdScript as well. But there are few caveats. It can only access Java APIs as far as what I have understood from this documentation. Also it is bit unstable, so be careful with this. Like, I would not try to do extreme advanced things with this particular API, at least for the time being. So I'm not sure about Kotlin, if we can directly access Kotlin APIs as well, but they have just given example of Java. And I'm also not sure about third-party dependencies which are for native Android, which are in Java or Kotlin. So I'm not sure about that. So typically you would do something like this, but here you can use JavaClassWrapper and call any native Android API which is written in Java, but make sure it is not a part of any third-party library. So yeah, just be careful with that. So with the help of Android runtime plugin we can do that. Okay, and this is just an example they have shown. So if you want to display a toast message, you can use something like this. If you want to vibrate a device, you can use something like this. So this is the API for this is the code for accessing the vibration API. So let's see how to do this via Godot game engine. So I'll quickly show you an example. So I have opened Godot game engine. I'll just click on create. I'll just create a new project. I'll name it my Godot project. You can name it whatever you feel like. So I'll just name it as my Godot project. I'll just save it to my downloads folder. I'll select the current folder and I'll click on create. Now I'll come back to this, how we are exactly writing this API. First let's go through the flow. First let's make the app running. Later on I'll explain, because it's not as simple as doing a one-to-one mapping. It does get a little bit complicated as well, but we'll look into that a little bit later in this tutorial. First I'll show you how to get up and running. It's quite simple. So here we have just created a Godot project. I'll just create one 2D scene, and inside that I'll just create one button. On a click of it we will induce the vibration thing. Okay, so here is our button. I'll just do Command S to save, and if you want you can just give it some text as well. Okay, and here I'll also add one label. In case if something goes wrong, we can display that error message inside our label, but in this case nothing will go wrong. I've already practiced this before recording this video. Then I'll attach one script to this. Okay, then what I'll do is I'll just get hold of our label, something like this. Okay, now I'll just copy paste the code. So I have already written the code for this just to save time. So here first we get hold of our Android, and I'll show you the code in a bit. Let me first copy paste it, then I'll explain it to you as well. So I'll just do this, and I'll also get hold of our button on press click listener. So here I'll get this pressed node event, and inside this I can just paste the entire code, something like this. Okay, so now I'll show you the code. So first here we are getting hold of our Android runtime. Okay, now let's see how to call the vibration code. Obviously they have given a sample over here, but I want to show you how you can map the Java APIs into GdScript as well. So I have created an Android project as well. You don't need to do this, because I just created this so that I can show you exactly how the mapping works, so you are okay with only creating the Godot project. So first you need to get hold of our Android runtime. Then I'm checking if Android runtime is available or not. Then if the Android runtime is available, then we get hold of this vibrator context. Now how would I know this? So unfortunately this is how things work. So if you see, if you want to get the Android context, it is from the android.os.vibrator, right? So that's what we that comes over here, sorry. So here we are just getting hold of our vibrator, which is part of system service. So if you see here, this particular thing maps something like this. So this is how we get the vibrator service. Then again I do a check if vibrator service is available, and if it has vibrator method. Okay, I think I have not added that particular check over here, which is fine, but I think you can do something like this, vibrator dot has vibrator. So here you can see in Java as well we have this method. Unfortunately I have not written this over here, but you should write this particular has vibrator check as well. Okay, then to get hold of the vibration effect which has been written over here, so you have to use android.os.vibration effect JavaClassWrapper.wrap. Okay, so this vibration effect come from this android.os.vibration effect. So like I said, it's not as simple as doing one-to-one mapping. You need to know a little bit of Java code as well to do this one-to-one mapping. And then here we just create a vibration effect of one shot, passing this much seconds, I think this is milliseconds, and default amplitude. So this is what we are doing over here, vibration effect dot create one shot 500 millisecond default amplitude. So that's what we have written over here. And then we just do vibrator service dot vibrate, passing in our effect. So here you can see vibrator dot vibrate, passing in our effect. So here we have just named it as vibrator service. That's what we are doing over here. And inside else clause, I'm just updating the text of our label. So yeah, that's it. Next you just need to go to project, click on install Android build template. If you are doing this for the very first time, you might need to download the Android template as well. I have already downloaded it, that's why it is asking me to install. So I'll just click on this install button and it will quickly install the Android template for me. Then just go to project, export, click on add Android, and then here you need to click on this fix import button, click on use Gradle build. And here you will need to select your Android architecture as well. If you don't know your Android architecture, just select all four of this, but for me it is this V7A, I think it is V8A, I am not really sure, but either one of this, that's why I've selected both of this. And now this vibration thing also requires a vibration permission as well. So if I just show you my native Android code, inside Android manifest we need to add this vibrate permission. So inside our Godot script, Godot game engine, you just have to scroll down. Here you can see these are all the permissions which are available by default. Okay, and it should be somewhere over here. So here you can see vibrate, you have to check this checkbox as well. Then just close, make sure you do command S to save it as well. And I'll just run this on my real device. So let's just run. So I have connected my real device. I'll just select the current scene as well. So it is running now. This will take a bit of time. Now in the meantime, I want to show you one caveat as well. I have raised this issue on the Godot game engine repo a long time back, but I'll close this issue today. I think it was raised on March 4th. So the problem is this particular Java vibration API was not working on my old device. So it was I have bought that device in 2020, but like I have just purchased a new device, which is like I purchased it last year, and it works perfectly fine with this Java APIs. But like I said, it does not work in the older Android devices as well. So just be careful. Anyways, they have mentioned that this is still a bit unstable, I guess. So yeah, use it at your own risk. Now so I have ran my application. Now to mirror my device, I will just use Android Studio, but again, like I said, you don't need to use Android Studio. This is just to show it to you. Okay, so here you can see this is the output. Now I can't show the vibration effect to you, but I'm able to feel the vibration when I click on the button. So yeah, that's all there is to it. So yeah, feel free to ask any questions in the comments. Thank you for watching. Bye.